So once we can check this, all these things once again. Yeah, and you know already what is server and client, right? What is server? Server provide a service, client access the service. Servers provide a service, client access the service. But how server and client understand what type of communication? Is a mail related or DHCP related, DNS related, or some website related access based on the protocols. Based on protocols. Okay. If client send HTTP request, the server understand is asking for web page. If it is a web server, yes, it will deliver the web pages to you. Okay. If it is a mail server and you want to access the mails, you have to send SMTP request or POP3 or IMAP request to the server. Okay. So that is a main point of server and client. Different types of servers are there. What is the purpose of the server is to provide a service to the client. And the server has something like it is a specific type of servers are there, like web server, DHCP server, DNS server, file server, storage server, database server, authentication server, like a domain controller, okay, time server, okay. So different types of servers are there. How it is become a specific type of server? Because when you have to install and configure in the server operating system, either their built-in features, roles, or by installing some applications or packages and configure it as a specific server. For example, you install a Tomcat application, then it has become a web server automatically. NGINX, now it is more popular. NGINX, install in the server, it is a web server. The protocols understanding is HTTP and HTTPS. So servers based on the services, different servers. Web server, file server, DHCP server, DNS server, domain controllers means authentication server, DHC web servers, AWS servers, mail servers, VPN servers, storage servers, database servers. Not only this, I given some small list. There are a lot of different types of servers are there. And this is a server providing based on the service. But this should be configured on an operating system, right? So we need an operating system. The operating system is flexible to install server-based applications. So what those operating system? Windows server operating systems are there. Linux operating system, Unix operating system. There are different server operating systems are there. And yes, we need a server operating system, and on the server operating system, install a server applications and configure internal server features. So it's become a server, right? And this operating system has to run that to 24/7, and storage flexibilities, also required network connectivities. So this are running on a different servers. So you can use a tower server, a blade server, a rack server kind of stuff. Okay. This we put all these blade server or rack servers, storages. Okay. Um, Storage configurations, servers, applications running in the server. Okay. Connectivity between the servers. All these things we place in one place. That is called a data center. And this data center required power supply and cooling system. And environmental monitoring is also required. Okay. So that's what we call it as a data center. Okay. So then we discuss like what is the servers and services. There is another thing is like you have a system, you have a desktop. What is the purpose of desktop is to run some applications, web browsing, programming, data processing, multimedia things, audio, video kind of stuff. doing some application related work, right? So this is for desktop purpose. It's end user device. But it's server purpose to give some certain specific type of service. Okay. So you have your desktop and your own desktop is there. One own desktop or laptop is there. It's your individual computer. Okay. You have a user account in that one. You power on your system and you have a username and then you log in, give the password, you log in, right? Where is this username and password store? It's in your system only. Okay. It's in your system only because your PC is a workgroup PC. PC is a workgroup PC. Your username, password stores inside your PC only. Okay. No separate controller, separate authentication is not required because your accounts are local accounts. And if your account is administrator account, so you have all privileges. If your account is standard user account, it is you have a limited permissions. Okay. And your user account is authenticated and authorized by same system only. That is authentication, verification of credentials, verification of identity. Example, verification of username and password. Authorization. Allow the user to access the resources or data or services is called authorization. You have an individual computer, but you take these individual computers connected in the network. Think like you are in this very small office. There is a 10 computers connected in the network, all are individual systems. Means their user accounts are there inside of it. Okay. Every system has their own user account. Okay. All are connected in the network. So they can communicate each other. But if it is a 10 computers, okay to manage. For example, I am the manager, so I can able to manage these 10 computers. If I want to do any settings, if I want to do some changes, installation of applications, I can do it. Think these 10 computers to become 100 computers. It's become difficult to manage individually. It's difficult to manage individually because there is no centralized control. You have to go to each and every system, do the updates or maybe settings. I have to do individually. So it become difficult. 100 become 1000. Very, very difficult. Okay. Because it's a decentralized administration, no centralized control. And your system is workgroup system. No centralized control it is. Okay. And then what is the domain model? So in workgroup model, every system is individual system. They have their own administrator account. One user you cannot able to another. One system user cannot log into another system. Okay. So users authentication done by their own system model. Okay. Individually we can manage. Centrally we cannot manage because it's a decentralized administration. No centralized control. Coming to the domain, centralized administration. Domain controller is a server which is a centralized control for your domain. And there is a domain administrator who is the administrator of all systems in the domain. Okay, all systems in the domain. You can only to go to each and every system to manage the settings. We can enforce various type of settings to the large number of users and computer using group policies from your domain controller itself. Then the domain controller has a database. In the database, it contains users information where you create a users in the domain controller. And domain joining computers information is there. Resources information, service information is there in the domain controller database. Okay. These users in the domain can able to log into any domain computers. Whenever they log in, the domain controller authenticate the users. Okay. So here it is, how it is possible to that one. Also, we have some technologies. The user information is stored in the domain controller. Okay, in the domain systems, the user information, user password stores in the domain controller. Wherever the user is login, so the domain controller authenticate the user. Computers joined into the domain called domain computers. Users in the domain called domain users. Domain user can log into any domain computers until unless by default. By default. Domain admin account is administrator for all devices in the domain. Domain user log into domain computer, domain controller authenticate that user. So what is meant by domain is logical administrative boundary of users and computers. Those are belongs to domain. This is a logical administrative boundary. You create a group policy, the policy is applied to the domain computers and users only, not outside of our domain, if they are in the same network also. Okay, how to check your system is in domain or not? Go to about your PC, select rename this PC, computer name tab and check it. If it is showing work group means you are in the work group system. If it is showing domain name, it is you are in the domain. So if you are in the domain, so your accounts are located in the domain controller, and authentication is also done by domain controller only. If you want to install any applications or uninstall an application, you want to change any settings, only domain administrator can able to do it. Okay, only domain administrator can able to do it. Okay, so what is this Active Directory? To create a domain, we need a service to install. That is called a Active Directory role or a Active Directory domain service role we should install in this Windows server. In the Windows server. Okay. So if you install and configure in a server, that server become domain controller. Okay. What is this Active Directory? If you install the Active Directory, it means it provides directory based services. Two services. Database service, authentication and authorization services. So domain control has a database. What is a database? Active Directory database. Contains information of users, computers, groups, services, and resources. Authentication services. When these users are logged into their domain computers, when they are accessing any domain resources, it is authenticated and authorized by the domain controller only. These two services from your domain controller. Okay, how a server become a domain controller? By installing and configuring Active Directory or Active Directory domain service. As I said, Active Directory database. Every database is a file only. Inside a file, you have a data. The file name is ntds.dat. New Technology Directory Service Directory Information Tree. Okay, when directory information and users authentication. Authentication protocols use Kerberos, LDAP protocols. Kerberos protocol and LDAP protocol used to authentication. Active Directory services related to the Microsoft. It is actually introduced in Windows Server 2000. Before 2000 means Windows NT Server, there is a domain controller concept is there. But that time is not Active Directory. That is a SAM database concept. NTLM authentication. NTLM authentication. But in 2000, it is Active Directory database. Okay. In 2008, it is the Active Directory become Active Directory domain services. Active Directory infra architecture is like a forest, tree, child domains. So forest means is an enterprise. In enterprise, we have different organizations. Each organization is a tree, and each organization has different child organizations. Are there? So it's like a child domains. Okay. So entire your forest is created by the root. Entire this forest enterprise network is created by creating root domain. Root domain. Okay. Once it is forest is created, you can create for each organization, you can create a domain. Okay. And all these domains in the forest are trust each other. So no need to create a separate trust relationships. Okay. And it is a security boundary. Security means boundary means any other domains outside of your forest cannot able to communicate here. Only within the forest you can able to communicate. You can share resources between them. Bah, cold node. Yeah, this is about your Active Directory. Guys, you want to join, your computer want to join into the domain. Your computer must be professional edition or enterprise edition. It can be anything, Windows 10 or Windows 8 or Windows 7, but it must be professional or enterprise. Home editions, we cannot attach, we can join to the domain environment. Next, DHCP. So what is a DHCP? Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. DHCP server assign or configure IP address to the client devices automatically. Okay, you take a system, you can configure IP address manually or automatically. You want to configure manually means you must know the what is the existing network. And you must know what IP address not till not used. So you have to assign unused IP addresses. Otherwise, what happen? Okay, conflicts will be generated. And while you are entering IP address, you should enter properly. Otherwise, wrong IP addresses. Okay, typo errors will occur. On certain devices, it's difficult to assign, and everyone does not know how to assign IP address. And different types of devices are difficult to give IP addresses also. So, what is the easiest method? And that too, if large number of devices are there, we cannot go to each and every PC to assign IP address. So, what is the how to do it? Okay, use a DHCP server. In our home, we have a Wi-Fi router, act like a DHCP server. Some organization maintain a separate DHCP server using a Windows server or Linux server or as a firewall or maybe a Wi-Fi router kind of stuff. They use that one as a DHCP server. Okay. What is the advantage of DHCP server? It assign IP address to the client PCs automatically. It is configure that one. So no lesser conflicts will be there. Wrong IP address entrances will be not there. Okay, and everybody not required to know how to assign IP address. It is already obtained IP address automatically you selected, you will get an IP address automatically. No need to know what is IP address I have to give, subnet mask I have to give, default gateway I have to give, DNS server I have to give. No need to know it. Automatically you will get it from the DHCP server. Okay. For most of the devices, it is quite easy to get an IP address. It is. Okay. All these things you know. Only one point I will going to repeat, that is, yeah, already you know this is also obtain IP address automatically means get IP address from DHCP server while you are selecting this. Secondly is use following IP addresses configuring manually. Then you have to give IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server. And you're checking, if you while you are checking IP address, DHCP enable yes means you got IP address from DHCP server. From router, also you can be able to configure. Okay. DHCP use a process. DHCP, the way of assigning an IP address. The DHCP assign an IP address to the client But that process we call it as a DORA process. What happened in the DORA? The client does not have an IP address. It has to find a DHCP server. So what is that client will do? Client send a discovery packet to everyone, like a broadcast. It send a broadcast, a packet called discovery packet. Once this discovery packet reaches the DHCP server give a IP offer to the DHCP client. And again, DHCP client send a request, yes, I want this IP address. And finally, DHCP server given acknowledgement. So the DHCP client will configure with an IP address and lease period. Okay. So this is the process of DHCP. And what is this APIPA address? Automatic Private IP address. You put a obtained IP address automatically. And your interface is try to find a DHCP server. It send a discovery packets to find a DHCP server. It failed to get an IP address from DHCP server. Either it is DHCP server is not there or not available, or IP addresses are not available. Okay. So it is finally, it's not able to get any IP address from DHCP server. Maybe DHCP server is not there, are disconnected, or service is down, and IP addresses are not available. So if system is not getting IP address, it assign itself an IP address from APIPA range. That is 169.254.0.1, 169.254.254, 255.254. It pick any IP address from here based on your MAC address. So finally, it is configured with APIPA address. But if a device is configured with APIPA address, it cannot communicate to the any devices. So what happened here? So you cannot able to communicate. So we have to resolve the issues. So first we have to check DHCP service is available or not, connected or not. Services, try to restart the DHCP services, or make sure DHCP not blocking your request. Your MAC address is in block list, it cannot give. So check the block list also, yellow and deny list also. Once you resolve the DHCP side of issues, DHCP server side issue, come to the client side, either disable or enable adapter, or put a command called ipconfig space / release, ipconfig space / renew. So dash release, remove the old dynamic IP address. Means the automatically configured IP addresses will be removed with a command called ipconfig space / release. And what is the renew command? It try to find again DORA process. It run the DORA process to get an IP address from DHCP. Next. DNS. What is a DNS? Domain name system. Port number is 53. What is a DNS server will do? In DNS server, in general, DNS server contains records of devices or services, which is a map of device name in a domain to the IP address. Okay, this is one sentence. Another way also you can tell, right? So what is that you can tell? So what is a DNS server? DNS server has records of a name to IP addresses. When you require, you send a request to the DNS server. DNS server give IP address of that particular host. Our device send a request to find IP address of a host or a server with a name to the DNS server. The DNS server returns IP address of host or a server which is in the domain. Guys, DNS is domain name system. It's not just name and IP address. Because if you take a google.com, and the google.com is a domain name, and www.google.com is a host or a server. Again, someone asked me this question last time. What is host? Host means machine, computer, server, laptop. All these are host only. Okay. Host means a computer, your device. Okay. Device. Okay. So like this. So host name means computer name. Okay. So www is a device host name and sorry. Okay. So you go to the mail.google.com. That is also another host, but google.com is your domain, right? So in the google.com DNS server, it contains records of www.google.com, meet.google.com, docs.google.com, mail.google.com server's IP address. Okay, but to reach that one, we have to reach our local DNS server. Okay, so what we are doing is here is to simply say we do not have an IP address of those servers or hosts. Or send a request to the DNS server to find the IP address of it. So what is our DNS server will do? It returns an IP address of that host or servers, okay, to you. So then you can communicate with that IP address because all communications by IP address only, not with the names. But we cannot able to remember all the names. What we do, we'll ask a DNS server, just like your mobile phone contact list. In your mobile phone contact list, you create a contact name and the phone number, right? When you want to call, you open the contact list, dial to the name, and actual call goes to the phone number only. So you don't need to know, remember any phone numbers. Simply, you should follow the contact. Same way, DNS server also. Okay. So if we want to find like a ping www.google.com, www.facebook.com. So first it will find an IP address from DNS server. Once it is got, it will try to communicate with an IP address. What is FQDN? Fully qualified domain name means it is a combination of your host name and server name. 1 second. Check. Okay, guys, about your server's active directories. Did you recollect any information from the classes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Then, and also we discussed about a Outlook. What is a Outlook? Outlook is a mail client application. Using Outlook, you can access and receive mails through the Outlook application. What are the mails you receive to the Outlook? The Outlook, what are the mails you receive to the Outlook? The mails are stored inside your local PC. Okay, the mails will be stored inside your local PC. So without internet also, the already received or downloaded mails, with or without internet, you can able to check it anytime. You can compose the mails, you can check the already downloaded mails. But you want to send a new mail or to get a new mails, you must have a internet. Okay, it is a part of Microsoft Office suite. Okay, And not only mail communication, also you can do the calendar settings, meeting settings, to do tasks. Okay, contacts also you can maintain with the Outlook application. Okay, Outlook is a Microsoft related product. Other than that one, we have a lot of applications are like that. In mobile phone, Gmail app is one example. In iPhone also we have a app. We can do it that one. Okay, um, another applications also available. The point is there is a different mail servers are there. Microsoft Exchange mail server. Is there Zimbra mail server, Squirrel mail server, Dovcat, Postfix, Domino mail servers also. What is the purpose of mail server? So it will handle the client request for sending and receiving mails. Another one is it maintain the mailboxes. Whenever the user send a mail, it will understand using a protocol called SMTP. If user use a SMTP protocol for sending a mail, okay, for sending mail is SMTP protocol. SMTP protocols for sending the mail. So server understand user send a mail and check the recipient like a to address. Okay. So then mail is forward to the to address. So the mail went to that to address mailbox. Whenever user want to retrieve the mail, so you will send POP3 or IMAP protocol. Request is with the protocol is POP3 or IMAP. So server understand user want to retrieve his mails. You want to see his mails from the mailbox. So it connect the mailbox data to the user. The user got a mailbox information. So we are using three protocols: SMTP, POP3, and IMAP version 4. And sometimes it is we use the plain protocols for security for SSL or TLS we are using. For SSL or TLS we are using. Okay. HTTP, HTTPS. HTTP is a plain format. HTTP is encrypted format. Like that, for SSL and TLS, we send the data. So IMAP version 4 is 993. IMAP 3, POP3 is 995. SMTP has two port numbers, depends upon SSL and TLS, 465 and 587. Okay. Normal port numbers are 25, 110, and 143. SMTP for sending and POP3 and IMAP is for retrieving mails, incoming mail servers. What is a POP3 and IMAP? POP3 is a cut paste. Okay. So whenever you received a mail to your Outlook, whenever you received a mail to your Outlook, once it is downloaded, it mail will be removed from the server. So your mail is only available in your local PC. From other places, like you from webmail you want to access, you can't access. Okay, because it's a single client support kind of stuff. IMAP is copy paste. IMAP is copy paste. POP3 is cut paste. Copy paste means server has a copy and client has a copy. Even you can use Outlook web through web. You can access like a Gmail app kind of stuff. You can use mobile application also. You can use it. Multi-client type. Okay, because always mails are in the server. Only we are accessing. Anytime, anywhere you can access. But why we require a POP3? Why POP3 is there? Sometimes in certain organizations prefer their mailboxes are very small, like 100 MB, 200 MB. So that is not enough for daily regular communication. So your desktop having more space, so we can able to store the desktop. So that is what I'm saying. So what is the point? Here it is. So if this mailbox sizes are limited, it's better to store in your local PCs on. It is because the storage is also costly. Okay, it depends upon organizations. They will configure POP3 type communications. Okay. Of course, if you are using POP3, problem is mails are in the local PC, not in the server. If your local PC is down, your hard disk is corrupted, operating system is corrupted. What happened? You cannot get the mails. So what you have to do, take the backup regularly. If you are using POP3, definitely you should use a backup of your mails and store in separate external hard disk like that. You can store it separately. And your mails are received and stored in your mails are received through Outlook and stored into your local PC, right? And it will store into a file. The file name is with extension .pst or .ost. If extension is .pst means personal storage table. Okay, meaning is if you are using other than Microsoft Exchange mail server, if you are using other than Microsoft Exchange server, the file name is created like a .pst. For example, your organization using Microsoft Exchange mail servers or Office 365 Exchange mail servers, the the mail storage file extension is .ost, offline storage table. Okay. And your mails generally located under C user, username, app data, local Microsoft Outlook. That is, don't worry about this one. This is too difficult to remember. It's inside your system, inside your place. Okay. .pst, .ys is important. Of course, try to understand two BCC and BCC. I will tell about BCC, guys. BCC means blind carbon copy. So I send a mail to 10 members. I put all the 10 members mail ID in BCC. Each person think I send a mail directly to that person. He does not know who are the other users received same mail. But if you keep same thing in a two, everybody knows other mails, other members who received the same mail. That is a two address. Okay. Of course, you can do backup and restore. Okay. Import and export options you can use to backup and restore. You can create a mail rules and signatures. Mail rules, like if you received a mail from a specific user, you can keep it in separate folder. If you are, you can create a rule for a mail with a specific subject, you can separately keep it in another folder. Okay, signature, when you are sending a mail, automatically in the bottom signature has to be there, right? So what you do, hmm, yeah. So you can create your own signature and save it. So when you're sending a mail, automatically signature will be added. Calendar, create a calendar events for your upcoming meetings, scheduling kind of stuff. Yeah. Outlook related troubleshooting is there. So if it's a common question, that is if you are unable to send and receive a mails. Okay. Yes. If you are not getting internet, you can't send or receive a mails. Check the internet connection. Internet is not working, first solve the internet issue. Internet is working, what to do? Internet is working, it is related to the Outlook application or configurations, password, mail server related issue. You have to check one by one. Okay, check it. Any configuration changes recently. SMTP related outgoing mail server configuration, incoming mail server POP3 or IMAP settings are changed. Names, IP addresses changes are occur. Selection of SSL or TLS changes, protocols, port numbers changes is occur. So please verify that. Second one is password may be changed. So user changes password but he didn't update the password in Outlook. Okay, actual password is changed, but it is not updated, but it's one possibility. Second one is password is expired. So for users, it will be like a one for security in secure environments. We put a condition every month user must change this password. Okay, or every 6 months user must change the password. Every 1 year user must change the password. The password is user forget to change this password, then password is expired. Our user account is locked. So check the user account and password information. If any changes are done or expiries are happened, so you have to check it and update. Okay. So what is another one is try to log into the browser side. So open the browser and try to log into the web browser. And so it will confirm the password is correct or not. It confirms that password given is a correct or not. So user may change the password or a new password. User is unable to log in. The password is showing wrong. Maybe there is a password related issues. Password is, it means it's not a password related issues. Okay, it's something else. And try to send a mail from web browser, web related mail. Okay. It is unable to send it. So maybe your mailbox is full. You can't able to send and receive mails. One of the reason is your mailbox is full. That's why you can't able to send. So remove your sent mails and receive mails. Empty your mailbox is also better. Okay. So that is also one reason through web mails. The next one is you can able to send and receive a mail through the web, but not from the your system, from your Outlook. Maybe your C drive is full. 1 second. Okay, sorry. So I think I'm being target for the Bajaj or someone. Okay, I'm getting only calls, take a credit card. Already it is processed, completed. You don't now come and take it like kind of stuff. And I don't understand what the language they are speaking as. At all languages I'm getting calls. So I'm being targeted now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, where are we? So, check your C drive is full or not. In case C drive is full, from your Outlook is data is storing there. Okay. So, you move your data from one place to another or make the C drive is keep free. Okay. That is the thing. Sometimes application related issues. Sometimes application. So, web you can able to send and receive. So, your application related settings are application related issues. So better to scan with antivirus. Sometimes a virus may affect this application may not work. So what to do? Try log out, log in from this. Scan with antiviruses. One option. Another one is log out, log in from your PC or restart your PC. Only thing is yesterday it is working. Only today morning it is not working. So try log out and log in your system. Sometimes application backend services maybe refresh or restart your PC may work, or you can try to repair your application. So it is a part of Microsoft Office. Try to repair your Microsoft Office online. Okay. So select online repair kind of stuff. Okay. Go to Office, right click and go to the change or repair. Go to the repair options, online repair. So try it. If not working, uninstall the application. Uninstall the application, guys. Any application you uninstall, and again you want to reinstall it. So what to do? Uninstall it, restart it, and install it. Okay, always do that sequence. Uninstall the application, restart the PC, and install it again. And also there is a some more few things are there. You can do clean up this percentage, stamp, prefetches. Okay, clean up your C drive, right click on the C drive, go to the properties and disk cleanup may works. Okay, so this is Outlook and Outlook troubleshooting. Okay, we have VPN also. I will tell VPN and then we can close today. So possible Monday, we will discuss remaining many points. Okay. Because it's already 5:30 and you're also people patiently. But what are I repeated, guys? You have a document, right? So please read it today or tomorrow. What are we repeated? First read it. Then what are the things are left? Just go through once again. Okay. If I got any chance on Monday, so I will see the remaining things, or maybe I will show some other information. So once you repeat, so you will remember for a longer time. See, repetitively you have to read it. So even I'm not seeing much. I'm seeing only title and keep telling. Why? Because the same thing I'm repeatedly almost like 2 3 years for your HCL constantly. Before I only I'm cognizant. Now I'm only continuous HCLs. Okay. So, so I don't forget any points generally. It become habituated for me. For you, it is first time. For me, it is multiple times. Okay. Your first time you are listening, I multiple times at taught this one. So like that it is. Repeatedly read it and also tell to something yourself or to someone or maybe some wall or some. Okay. So you will get the points. You will remember things, protocols, port numbers, OSA model layers, OSA layers, IP addresses, IP address ranges. Okay. IP address ranges, TCP, UDP differences. Okay. RAM, ROM differences, RAM and hard disk differences, operating system types. These are all common points. If you repeatedly telling yourself or to someone, you never forget. Okay. Yeah, the protocols I never forget. Subnetting. So that is my favorite one. I took 2 months to practice. 2 months completely I have taken in practice. Till I didn't touch much subnetting right now. But still, when you got any questions related subnetting calculations, without pen and paper, I can give the answer. Okay. So that's like practice. Yeah. Okay. We'll continue. VPN, then we'll close the session today. What is a VPN? Virtual Private Network. What is a VPN? To connect or accessing your private network from other private network over the internet. This is one sentence. There are a lot of sentences out there. Okay, over the public internet. Okay, there's no private internet, so over the internet means public network. Okay, so I have a remote office is there. My office is in New York. Entire my infrastructure is in New York or Pennsylvania or maybe in a Exton, sorry, or maybe in a New Jersey, okay, or maybe in Malaysia. I have a data center. There is my applications, my servers, okay, my storage is there in there. I want to connect it and access it, and I have to do my work on it. My application is there, but I'm have to go to there and or maybe from my office there is a dedicated connection so I can connect it directly from office network. Through office network I can able to connect because we have a separate dedicated line. But when I'm connecting from my home or when I'm connecting from a small branch office, it's difficult to connect, right? So what we have to do? We have to connect their VPN server through the internet. Once you are send a request to the VPN server, their VPN server, once you send a request for connectivity. For connectivity, once you send a request, okay, once you send a request, so what will happen? Okay, it is server verifies your authentication. Server verifies your authentication and you are requesting, then it create a private tunnel between the VPN server, means your network, your private network, to your laptop or desktop, your computer. Okay, it create a private tunnel. It create a tunnel between your private network to your laptop directly. Not only your internet, your not that one. You type it to laptop, and it create that. So what are your data you are sending and receiving is through this encrypted tunnels only. So you can able to access your private network just like you are accessing the same LAN network. So what are the IP address used in that private network? The same IP, that IP network IP address only assigned to your laptop right now, once it is connected. Earlier it is different network because that is internet network. Now it is your private network. But all you are communicating through the public network, but no one knows what is the data you are sending and receiving because data is encrypted and it is going through the tunnel. That's called it is virtual private network. It's not through the internet. You are connected from your laptop to your organization private network. So that is VPN, guys. For simple terms. I told when I'm taking the class, I take more time to explain all these things. Okay, there's a different tunnels are there. PPTP, SSTP, L2TP, IKE. So different types of tunnels and different types of authentication servers also. The radius server, AAA servers also there. Okay. VPN is a safe lines. But why not always we use it? Why? Because of where these leasing lines are not working. Leasing lines are higher speed. So because of internet is a up to speed. It's like a broadband connections up to 50 Mbps, up to 100 Mbps. Leasing lines are dedicated speed, dedicated line. Okay. So where these leisure lines are not working, where we cannot put a leisure lines, everywhere we can't put it, right? Because it's costly and flexibility is also important. There VPN works. You connect your infrastructure just like you are connecting in the local network through the public network. That is what VPN is. Okay. And of course, what are the topics left? Virtualization. Okay. And cloud computing is left. Virtualization, cloud computing, Office 365 is left. As you remember, Office 365. And of course, there is some troubleshooting things. Wi-Fi router configuration. This is already, just we'll check it, a few points in it. Okay. So read, troubleshooting things. Read what are we discussed today and read what we are not discussed today, plus go to this file also, guys. This file is having all the questions, not all, few are left. So go to this one also. Once you go to the document, then go to this one, which is already I sent some GCS document. So go through that one also. In this one, what I left, what I missed it or what I left, please note it in one place. Monday we'll discuss and we'll complete this part also. Because in this one, we have only about how to check system configuration, uh, important points. What are the important lines about the service desk? Again, not student. PC components. What are the things you have to compulsory know it? Okay. Some questions and separate answers. Hard disk and RAM differences. What is a boot processing in simple way? Operating system, different operating system, types of OSs, repetition. Because that's question they are asking. Web browser and purpose of OS. Earlier batches got questions with. Okay. What Windows operating system using? What is your version? What is your edition? So that's why I'm writing editions and versions separately. Windows server OSs, different server OSs. What is meant by server and client? Different servers. So Windows Server built-in roles, different type of servers, their usages. Workgroup domain. So this is complete notes type. Basic important points I have noted down. Active Directory, DHCP, DNS. Okay. So networking essentials. See only what is physical topologies, types of LANs, NICs related information, MAC address, IP address, IPv4, complete ranges, classes, subnet mask, default subnet mask, how to check IP address, how to assign IP address, okay? What is the default gateway? What is networking devices, how to connect to two devices with wired and wirelessly, how to check the connectivity between the network. So that is ping command. Okay, and what is the OS model, 7 layers, their work. Okay, so what is TCP IP model comparing with the OS model, different protocols and their port numbers, and TCP UDP comparison differentiation. What is private IP address, NAT, PAT? Okay, different networking commands used, different troubleshootings in the hardware and networking related. I put some questions, some are still not filled. Plus, in this one, I have to add Outlook, Office 365, cloud computing, virtualization, and this VPN. All these things I have to include it. Okay, so we'll do it by Monday. Most possible, we'll try to complete by Monday. Okay, but first you have to go to all these things, then check this comparison, see the notes. It is feel good to recollect information. So then we can develop like this only. So anytime it is quick review purpose, it is helpful for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, meet you on Monday, possible.